What's up, you wonderful people? Sorry if like I'm rocking this. Whoa, look at that, that's weird. It's not a super strong fence. It's also not public property, so I may get kicked out of here. Today's a story time vlog. I felt like I really wanted to address this because I've been thinking about it a lot ever since a comment that I got actually about being humble. I want to talk about navigating the fine line between self-confidence and cockiness. Let me just first throw out the caveat, I'm probably not the best person to talk about this because I think I sway over into cocky probably more often than I should. Here's the story that needs to happen first. Just in case you don't have the time, if I had to try to, just like say, what is the distinction? Confidence is founded in reality, in like, I actually have this ability, like, I can do this, or I am this. Cockiness, on the other hand, got some bumps happening. Cockiness, on the other hand, is kind of like someone's saying something and you're not really sure if they're gonna be able to back that thing up. Look at this hill, I don't know if I can do this. Of course I can. Nope. Like really wanted to do this on the roof, but that is probably not a good idea. All right, so here's the story. Before Amber knew me, when I walked into the gym where she saw me for the first time, I was trying to look as good as I possibly could look because I wanted to make a good first impression on everybody. Like, these were gonna be my peers for the next 4 years, and I'm like, I wanna make a good impression. I put on my best shirt, I think I had like some water in my hair, and I think my sleeves were rolled up on my best shirt because it was hot, it was summer. And I walked in and she is not a judgy person at all. She's like actually the least judgy person there is, but she looked at me and said to one of her friends who she was sitting next to, look at that kid, he's like one of those kids who like knows he's hot. It's always really hard for me to tell this story because I'm like, I don't want you to think that I know that I'm hot. That's just so weird. I don't, like, what is hot? Like, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, all that stuff, okay? That happened. Later on, obviously we got through it, but in essence, she was saying, that's one of those cocky guys. And that is so interesting to me. My favorite part of this story is that we were dating before we even figured out that she had said that. I was telling the story of answering this question in that first day, and she was like, that was you? You were wearing your black shirt, weren't you? And like, we obviously had a laugh, because that was very funny. And flattering, Amber, thank you. I'm glad that you are attracted to me. I'm attracted to you. All right, but that was just a fun like introduction to this story. The reason here's what I wanted to say. I felt really uncomfortable when I thought about this topic for this vlog, and then I was like, I'm just gonna have to do it because like, let them judge me if they want to, let them judge me. I think I'm slightly self-conscious about it. Like, what if I'm cocky? That freaks me out. Here's what I think every time someone legitimately unsubscribes from me, like if someone leaves a bad comment and even says like, I'm unsubscribing, I think this, I'm so amped for some future video that I'm gonna make. It's gonna be so good, like they're gonna see it. They're gonna be like, oh, I gotta subscribe to that guy again. Does that borderline on cocky? Yes, I believe it completely does, but that's what I want to talk about mindset. I may have just found the actual perfect location to tell you this next thing I'm gonna tell you. It's an amphitheater. I haven't mastered the swing around reveal shot on the one wheel yet. It's cool, I'll get it. I think, and I've said this before, you need to know where you're going before you get there. And for me to think to myself, like, I know that you don't know whether I'm ever gonna drop a video that's so good that somebody who unsubscribed from me because they didn't like me had to resubscribe to me because they like decided, that video is so good. I know that that's impossible to know if I'll ever do that, but to think that I'm gonna do it, that's important for me. That's kind of how I operate. That's how I do what I do. So if that seems like something that could work for you, I'm cool with you walking the edge of cocky and confident. You know what I mean? Like, do what I do. If that seems like it's gonna work for you, do what I do. Think about it. Also, if my style of like, think about it before it happens, be confident that you're gonna make something awesome, like if that doesn't work for you, that's totally cool too. I try to tell you what works for me, and then if I know what I'm talking about, I try to tell you it. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I try to tell you that I don't really know, but this is what I think. I hope you can hear this. It is pretty weird talking to the camera from this far away. with that in mind, let me tell you something that I think is extremely dangerous about people who give advice, which is like basically what I do every day. My buddy Dave said it best when one time I was like, yeah, well, this really world-renowned guy who was right about all these things said this. And Dave was like, yeah, but I think that when you're right about a couple things that actually like kind of give you some delusions of grandeur, like you're gonna be right about everything. And then everyone starts listening to that person because they were right about so much. It's like, maybe they're right about this, and they say stuff that's really crazy that might just be, they might have gotten lucky about being right. Like a lot of people make a lot of predictions about how to do things and what works best and all that stuff. So you gotta take everything that anybody says with a grain of salt. There's just no doubt about it. Advice is weird. At the end of the day, you gotta do what you think you gotta do, all right? If it's wrong, so be it. Maybe it'll be right, maybe you'll tell people that it was right, and maybe it won't end up being right. Like, that is what it is. We're all doing this thing together. Let's do this thing together. All right, that's the end. How about this background? What about, that's cool. Yeah, look at that. Man, I am so glad I figured out a way to tell you that story. Like, I've been trying to think of how am I gonna tell this story for like a very long time now. Got it in, love it. I'm premiering my first sponsored video. There's 40 people watching. Like, what if they hate it? I don't know. It's crazy. At least they make this intro music awesome. Come on. I think people are liking it. Here's the comments. I'm telling this story of you thinking that I was cocky before you met me. I'll give you a chance to defend yourself. Do you want to say anything?
To defend myself, like to basically say that I didn't. I mean, I'm sure you'll tell the story fairly accurately. I have to see it before I...
I'm not gonna give you the chance to review it, I'm just gonna publish it.
Well, I did think that when I first saw you.
Alright! You heard it from her?